It is Bam Erickson here with AfterBuzz TV for Power Season 6, Episode 8, Deal with the Devil, and it is fan night. Let's go!
Is that our music?
Yeah. It's our music for tonight.
Yeah. That's our music.
It's another remix.
But we got to cut this remix because we got fans.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? I'm Bam Erickson. I want to introduce the panel.
Jill Monroe.
Hey, everybody. I'm Robin Ayers.
Jimmy V.
And so, as we said, fan night, so crazy episode. And so we are going to be talking to some fans live via Skype, asking them what they thought of Episode 8, Deal with the Devil. Ooh. So... Oh, what?
No, I was just saying,
okay.
I'm just ready to go.
All right, so whenever we have someone, just let us know, and we're ready for you. We're ready for them.
It's Ryan in the booth. I'm just calling them up right now.
All right.
Let you know when we got someone on the line.
Real quick, happy birthday to our own Robin.
Robin's birthday.
Thank you, guys.
You guys make sure that you wish her happy birthday. Hit her up on her social media and tell her how much you appreciate her.
Thank you. I'll take all the love. Thank
Was
you,
it
guys.
a good birthday?
It was an amazing birthday.
That's what counts. That's what counts.
It was amazing. Thank you.
Okay, so as we are getting ready to call someone up, so there's three main topics that we're going to talk about. So there's Cooper Sachs, there's Blanca Rodriguez, and then there's Tommy and Keisha. So there's a lot to talk about because Cooper, I think, he went to about 9, 10, 12, 25, 100 people. How many people did he...
That boy needed some
Trying
help.
to save his
He
life.
was trying to politic.
Yes, he was. Yo, and he shows up at a random high school. Like, what now?
On the tour.
I was like, I was like, what?
And so we saw him talk to Dre, which is, whatever. Yeah. But the most, where it all started is when he showed up at Tamika's office. Tamika had a new outfit on.
Tamika had
that
a
all
wig.
white on, you know what I'm saying?
She had a glow up.
She felt
did.
godly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bump that government money. Go ahead, Tamika, in private practice.
Okay, so our first caller.
This is Paul Michael.
What's up,
Hey,
Paul?
what's
Michael?
up?
Hey,
Paul, what's
How's
good,
it going?
man?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good.
Amazing.
Okay, so just tell us your thoughts. What you think about last night's episode?
Woo. Well, I think we're all happy in the power world.
Okay. I'm not
For what reason?
Well, because of what happened.
Okay.
Keisha's death.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part. I felt bad for some reason still. Even though we were looking for it. Maybe it was the music, maybe it was the acting, but we felt bad for Tommy for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time we seen him shed a tear too.
So do you think that Keisha, her death was the cause? Do you think that Keisha danced with the devil is the cause of her death, or do you think that what's your thought? What's your thought on their relationship? Do you think that she asked for it, or do you think that she was?
She had it coming?
She had not that she had it coming, but
She set herself up. Is that what you want to know? She put herself in position to lose?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She was cautioned multiple times, not only by Tasha, but just she saw the game and she has a son. Like, for her to make those decisions with having a kid, and she didn't need to get into the game like that. And her and Tommy weren't talking for a little while, and she decided to come back into that relationship as well. It's very interesting that she even chose to do that life. It was very she was there's a word I'm looking for, but she seemed as if she was desperate for some reason for a relationship. She didn't need that relationship.
So now that Lakeisha is dead, do you wish that she was alive?
No.
You couldn't know. Okay, so you don't feel bad enough. Okay, that you wish she was here. Okay, got it.
Well, I think I feel bad for Tommy because and Tommy is a great actor.
Joseph, you mean?
What's his name? What's his name?
Yeah.
Jason?
Joseph.
Joseph Sikora.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
He's an amazing actor, and I think just his initial reaction and how he tried to talk to her son, and just the back and forth from him to the son, and just understanding it, it just kind of made us a little sad for Tommy. Maybe that was just me though. Were you guys
No.
I felt the same exact
I wasn't.
way.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, I wasn't. But
No, because Tommy was about to make another choice, and he hasn't really
Was
loved
he?
anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
he did
Was
have
he?
the ring, so it looked like he was gonna get on
We'll talk
one
about that
bended knee.
later.
Yeah.
He was, but there could be multiple reasons. But we'll talk about that.
yeah.
Later.
So let everyone know where you could be found on social media.
At Paul Michael Bear. That's PaulMicheael. BAIR.
All right. Thank you for.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you for calling in.
We appreciate you.
Thank you so
Shout
much.
out
Thanks
to
for
Paul,
having me,
man.
guys.
All right. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's next?
Who else
look
felt
at
bad?
him.
Did anybody else feel bad? I did.
I felt a little bad, but my thing was, I mean, can we talk about it really quick?
Yeah.
I'm
Keisha, why are you going for the gun?
Yeah.
If you were just leaving and you weren't really going to do this, you could have waited for Tommy to come back home. There's so many different choices that Keisha could have made throughout.
Yeah.
You know, you let Detective Blanca play you. How do you not
Played
know if your
hard.
name is on the mortgage?
But
the-
Lisa, no.
because they don't.
I know. There's
So-
lots of reasons. We can get into that later. I'm just saying, still, you let them punk you.
Yeah. Okay. So we got somebody else.
Sorry, we got someone else.
All right.
Hey.
All right.
Jean, she's dialing in right now from Canada, and she's a big fan of y'all.
Wow. Hey.
Canada.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
What's good?
How's it going?
I'm gonna get you in the. Are we good? Can we be seen?
Yeah,
Yes.
we got both
Yes.
with you guys.
You guys.
All right.
How are you guys?
We're good.
Good, good.
So we have Nikki, and what's your name?
I'm Ian.
How-
Ian.
Ian.
Ian. Okay.
Ian.
So Nikki and Ian. So tell us your thoughts on last night's episode.
Oh. Okay. Can I go?
Yeah.
Can I go? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. So, Lakeisha was in over her head. Like, she was not built for this life, and I just think that from jump she wanted to be something that she couldn't be. Like, she wanted to be like Tasha. She let envy and greed surpass her son's well-being. I just think that she knew that it wasn't what it was for her, and she knew that she couldn't do that, but she wanted it so bad. She just wanted to be in competition with Tasha so badly.
You know, for me personally, this was the best Power episode. They should have started Power with this episode. Because
wow.
I hate the Power.
Right.
I knew I was going to do the show. I watched all 6 seasons in a month. And let me tell you something.
Wow.
This ain't The Wire. It's totally different. This was the best episode. And the next one's going to be even crazier. First of all, they made Lala a star in season 6. What was this about? We all knew she was going to die. They gave her too much talking roles. So you give the worst acting girl on the show all these talking roles. You know she's going to die. She's going to die. How much?
Okay, no, and listen, I'm kind of happy. I'm happy that
He's
I
creating
won't have
real.
to be subjected to Lala's acting anymore.
Yeah.
But I am sad to see her character go for Tommy. What I wanted to say about Tasha, and this is a point to Bam too, because I noticed over the years you've been coming hard on my girl Tasha. It's cool. But listen, right now she's lost. She doesn't truly know what she's doing. She has a lot of regret and she's trying to fix it. But you always mention how she wanted the street life for Ghost, and she knew, like, she was like, I wanted you to be the biggest drug dealer in New York. But she repented from that. A few seasons later, she came back and she said, you know what, I was wrong. She admitted fault for that. So I feel like, how come you never bring that up? And like the fact that she was sorry and apologized for that, and Ghost still was acting a fool out here in these streets. Like, I don't get it. Like, what's the beef with Tasha?
Woo, she went in.
I agree
Okay,
with
well
you, Tasha.
maybe
Let my man come back on
yeah,
it.
we'll
Okay.
give you some time to talk to talk about that, Bam.
I don't want to hog your time, so keep going. But I have a clap back. I have a response,
the
but
last
yeah.
one was Ghost needs to exit stage left. He's so cunning, but so dumb.
No, I disagree. I've seen you guys show. I can't remember who doesn't like Ghost and who doesn't like Tasha. This is the one season I respected Tasha. Another horrible actress. But next I see, oh my God,
Ooh, they
Tasha. No, this is the one season I saw. Tasha's really a writer. She's like on the table.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all have left us.
is killing it. I don't know about that.
Nikki made me watch all of it. She's like, we're going on the show. You gotta know what's going on. Because I had stopped Power at season 3. So I went back and like, I'm gonna watch everything. So I took a month and I watched it all.
Wow.
Last night blew my mind. Tasha's really a writer. I gained respect for Tasha in season 6.
Okay.
But Ghost,
Well,
So it sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Tasha
well,
redeemed herself.
yeah, we definitely have a lot to discuss. You guys have given us an earful, and Bam has got a. We're going to give Bam an opportunity later to give his clap back, like he said. But tell
All right,
us,
Bam, you gotta say something, Bam.
where we can find both of you on social media.
Absolutely. So, Bam, I'll be looking forward to the answer because y'all know I'm gonna be watching. But you guys, if you want to hear more of our banter, and if you miss R&B, or if you think R&B is dead, and you want to know where you can find that great music, you listen to our podcast, Breakdown to Lowdown. Breakdown, the number 2 Lowdown, and that's where you can find us on all social media. Our podcast is available on all platforms, streaming services that podcasts are available, and we have new episodes out every Tuesday. So,
Are you guys musicians? Do you sing or do you play anything?
She's a musician.
I am. He's a host for like a couple of other shows out here in Montreal. So he's, he does this.
I be killing power. I be killing power. It's not The Wire.
Well, we definitely appreciate you guys
The
coming
Wire
through.
was a classic.
Yeah.
Thank you for thank you for that Canada support.
Yes.
Right?
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you, guys.
appreciate you.
Thank you for having.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bam with the ether.
Bam,
Ooh.
bam.
Ooh.
They calling in
Spicy.
She
to
was
go off
snapping.
on you.
Um,
She snapped.
it's cool.
Ah, that's funny.
It's
And
cool.
casual.
So just really quickly as they're calling, continuing with Cooper. So he goes to Tamika and he's basically kind of like acting like a spoiled white guy. And she says, I know being a card carrying member of the White Boy Club has his perks. And says how Warner is using him and basically he needs to go and clear his name.
Yeah.
So then he goes on this mission. So then he goes to Tariq's school.
Yeah, he done
Well,
snuck.
let's just say this. I didn't understand how deep of a hole that Sax was really in until he made that visit with Tamika.
Yeah.
So that was a very pivotal point that we
Right.
saw on camera. And it was a great setup to why he went, the way that he did. So, yeah.
And he went to Keisha, and so now we have another caller. So we have Kwame. Hey, what's up?
Kwame devll coming in right now.
Kwame.
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 Yo.
Yerp.
What's your name and where you from?
You there, Kwame?
Color in the
Yeah.
line.
All right.
Hey.
Yo.
What
Were
up,
we
Kwame?
loud?
How's it going?
Uh-oh.
Going good. Thanks for having me.
Very good.
I've
Okay,
been
so
watching.
yeah, so we've been hearing a lot of information on what people think about this episode. What was your overall take on it?
I was just my overall take was just it was beautifully shot. I think that last scene really kind of was the first time in a while it kind of had me like, whoa, like Tasha did that, like, but it was actually kind of poetic justice too because remember when Kanan said you're not a real killer till you kill somebody you love. So for her to have to go there, it was real powerful. So I think it was beautifully written, beautifully shot. It was just a good episode overall, I think.
It showed
And look at
Tasha's
Kwame
true
coming through
colors.
with the throwback, with the information on the throwback, talking
Right.
about Kanan. That was dope. Okay, I agree.
What are some of your other thoughts in different characters besides the Tommy Keisha relationship? What are some of your other standouts about last night's episode?
I think one of the things that's been standing out for a few episodes to me actually was just the fact that I've noticed that when it's Ghost and Tommy and Tasha, when they're doing their own things separately, they tend to be a little sloppy. Like, when Ghost when they had Cooper Sax kind of hog-tied or whatever they had them going on, and Ghost didn't have any gloves. I'm like, why did you just leave your fingerprints everywhere?
Well, he took the gloves off. He took the gloves off when he cut the knife.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like that's un-ghost-like thing to do.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I just feel like all three of those characters work together. When they always work together, they're always, kind of invincible in the Power universe. So for them to be separated in terms of their relationships, it's kind of different now to see. But
Speaking of
it's
that,
interesting.
speaking of that scene with Tommy Ghost and Cooper, do you think it was a good idea that they kept Cooper Sax alive?
That's a tough one. I think it was, but at the same time, you don't know if anything is a good idea on this show. Ghost is always trying to think ahead for Tariq, but and they do kind of need somebody, in the office since Angela's gone. But at the same time, keeping Cooper Sax alive, seeing some of the shady stuff he's been doing, like I said, you never know. It's kind of tough to say.
So one last thing before, because while you guys were talking about having gloves on and whatnot, did you guys notice that Tasha did not have the gloves or any gloves on or anything like that when she left the door?
And she lost an earring.
And we'll talk about the earring and stuff because I think that's going to be pivotal. But I definitely noticed. I'm like, okay, Tasha, you the one who was trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like hook your son up with how to do a murder. Right. But she didn't have her gloves on.
So Kwame, you got a couple more seconds. Is there anything else you want to say before we have to go to the next caller?
Man?
I'm from Des Moines, Iowa. Actually from Atlanta, but been living here for a little while now. So
well, I don't know nobody in Iowa. That is awesome.
Now we know him.
Okay, we know Kwame.
Just so people know, it is black people up here.
Hey, that's what we wanted to know. That's right. Well, we appreciate you, Kwame.
And let everyone know where you could be found on social media.
Right now, just on social media, I'm on Instagram, KB the King, A and the. Twitter's hating right now, so I just kind of took a break from them. So find me on Instagram.
Well, we appreciate all the support because we see you on our Instagram page and, you know, like with the comments and all the stuff. So we appreciate the support and continue to support us. You know, come through with the comments.
Can you hear us? Did he freeze
Yeah,
up?
y'all doing a dope job. Like I said, I really enjoy watching the show, and everybody I keep watching. We love it.
Thank you so much, Kwame. Thank you.
That's love.
All right, appreciate it. Right there. All right, and there should be one more coming, but in the meantime, while we're dialing up, we see Cooper then goes to Keisha, and then Cooper goes to Blanca's wife. So last week we asked
Blanca's wife,
which remember she talked about that relationship.
She hinted, she basically told us without telling us. So
she did.
So we're not shocked that her wife's hot though.
I mean, the thing is, even if she hadn't dropped that hint, I wasn't surprised that they made Blanca a lesbian. That wasn't a surprise to me either.
Not a shock at all. Were you surprised at how I don't want to say how pushy she was, but she made her presence
very
known.
Yeah.
No, you stepped to my house, and I know you stepped to my house, and I know my boo doesn't like you anyway. So what's up?
So then, why would she invite him?
She didn't. She said, he's not staying for dinner. He just understood the word dinner.
Right.
Because remember, she said it in Spanish.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so with his limited Spanish, he was like, oh, I'd love to stay for dinner.
And then he kind of used that as a way in, too.
So Cooper shows up to Blanca's house, revealing information that Keisha's name is on the house with Tommy. She could be a possible accomplice. So then they start to share information. She says that Keisha was the key
witness, or
her story basically saved the alibi.
Yeah.
So then Blanca Rodriguez then goes to Dre. And so now this is where it gets a little tricky because Dre wants his ankle removed, and so he spills that Kanan was in D.C. the night Raymond was murdered. Says he don't know who killed, but he wanted, but he knew who wanted, and so he gave the address. So
Dre was singing like a jailbird. But did you guys notice though that this is like one of the first times Blanca has hopped on both sides?
Yes, and Eric Wiggins is calling. Eric, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
Eric.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
We got Eric from New Jersey. We're having trouble with video, but we have perfect audio right
Okay.
now.
Okay. We can hear you
East
well.
Coast in the building.
Okay. Well, we hope we can see the visual.
Yeah.
Well,
can you see us? Okay.
We can't see you yet. Wait, it's coming. I feel. No.
It might be coming up right now.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe in a second. But Eric, you can hear us and you can see us, okay?
Yeah, I can see you guys.
Okay. So I have a question because I know that you do something about you talk a lot about ain't no way. Isn't that right? Don't you?
That's correct.
You talk about ain't no way that something that they do on Power or things that they do on Power are going to happen in real life. So tell me, do you have any ain't no ways on this particular episode?
For this episode, I'm gonna say, I guess maybe they should have taken Keisha in immediately after signing. But as far as ain't no way for this one, they should have definitely taken Keisha away as soon as she signed the cooperation paperwork. And also, once the grandmother saw Latasha with the money on the table and the babysitter, she should have definitely gotten an answer out of Tariq about what it was. I feel like no grandmother would allow her, her child to just walk away without answering her question.
Interesting. So, Eric, do you have some type of legal background or something like that you draw from in order to know what's possible in real life and not possible on Power?
No, it's just that sometimes I see things on the show and it's like that's impossible to happen. Okay. Kind of like when Kanan made it out of the fire, when he was in the warehouse and he got out of the fire drastically, like miraculously made it out of the fire. He shouldn't have been able to do that.
Agreed. Okay. Now, did something move you in this particular episode? I know, Lakeisha's death was probably one of the most stunning scenes that we saw. Not just the death, but Tommy's reaction to it. Is there anything else that kind of moved you in this episode? Or that you liked, or that you want to talk about?
Absolutely. Dre, he's beyond. He's got to go. I feel like he's doing too much. He just maybe possibly got Tariq locked up, even though, Tariq is kind of a knucklehead. He pretty much just sold Tariq out and told everybody that, Tariq was the one that shot Ray Ray. So that was upsetting, especially since Dre is looking for cooperation from Ghost to become the new distro.
Interesting. That is true. Yeah. Wow, that's very true.
Okay. Dre. Well, Eric, let everyone. Unfortunately, I guess we weren't able to see you, but we can hear you, although you can see us. So can you just let everyone know where you could be found on social media?
Sure. My Instagram is @limitless_e, and the same thing is for my Twitter. So that's @limitless_e on Instagram.
Okay, and then what about the podcast?
And my podcast is called The Limitless Experience with Eric. You can get it on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify. That's The Limitless Experience with Eric.
All right.
Very nice. Well, thank you again for the support. I know. Game. Yeah. Okay. We appreciate the support and all of the love on Instagram and keep coming through with the support. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. Your info helped me out a lot with the podcast, so I want to say thank you again.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Robin, have a nice one.
All right, you too. Okay, so going to Blanca, picking up cash.
Wait.
What?
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, we got to hurry up, but I'm sorry. Shanice Sweet Smile said, ain't no way, pretty much going off of what Eric said, ain't no way we've made it this far and everyone is dying except Dre and Sax. That's ain't no way. Point. Yeah. That's a great ain't no way.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead, y'all.
Okay, so what's your overall thoughts when Blanca went to, when she forced Keisha to sign the papers? You were saying something, Jill. What's your take on that?
I thought that we knew Keisha wasn't built for the game. Blanca obviously played her. There's some legal things that, Keisha obviously wasn't thinking about. That's why it's important that Proctor's gone, because Proctor would have been able to help them manipulate and move out of this, but he's not there and there's no law enforcement for them to kind of buffer that stuff. But anyway.
Do you think that, so Keisha's whole concern was her son staying away from cops and getting in trouble, making sure he does certain things because his dad is locked up in jail. So that seems to be like her motive for why she was, I don't want to say she had a panic attack, but she was very anti anything. I don't want my son to be in any type of trouble. But on the flip of that, when you're dealing with someone like Tommy, you're innocent, you had was it logical that she buckled so quick?
Yeah,
it's logical for her.
Yeah,
I think because everyone agrees she's not really built for that life. Yeah. And pertaining to Blanca, she's now in a position where we're kind of seeing her do things and manipulate the system for her what she wants. So that seems to be the common thread with everybody.
Power.
I want to say I really enjoyed Lakeisha in this specific scene just based on the writing of the character.
Okay.
Because what they did was they rose the stakes so high that she had no choice to, I got to sign this in order to get my child.
They did.
So I think writing-wise, I think it was absolutely great. as far
Yeah.
as the acting goes, whatever. The
I
Well, no, I actually think
yeah.
I told
Could've done
Bam earlier. I said, you know what? I actually got to give it to Lakeisha on this episode. I think her acting went up like.
Yeah, right. She showed
And
a
the
whole
scene with
lot
her
of range.
and the
She
scene
showed a
with
whole lot of
her
range.
and Tasha when they were fighting and just
The scene with her
yeah.
and Tasha. Sorry to cut you off. The scene with her and Tasha. The scene with her and Tommy.
Her and Tommy
when
as well,
Tommy
yeah.
was when we thought he was about to pull a Holly.
Tommy done turned up. He was like,
Yeah. Okay.
This feels great that I don't have to be petty and say what I'm not saying anything about her acting. So you all have said enough.
Yeah.
I do think. Well, I
think,
just want to.
I think caller number 1 started it off.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say really quickly about Tommy and the whole thing with Keisha is that I feel that when she told him when she didn't leave, when he found out she knew about Holly and didn't leave. I know everybody's like, oh, Tommy really loved Keisha. I felt like at that moment, that's when it clicked for him. And I also feel like the ring, yeah, I love LaKeisha, but my wife can't testify against me in court too.
So let's back up. So we're gonna go back to Cooper and Blanca and some of the other stuff. So let's just get to the whole Keisha, Tommy, and so forth. So what was your thought? Okay, so the opening scene when Keisha was complaining about the environment. It's quiet. It's this. It's that.
Yeah. Power in the suburbs, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it.
Okay, I just my whole thing was women are not. You just can't.
Don't say, but Bam. Don't say women. Bam, you got one more time to say something about some women.
Listen,
that's
I know why you
women
do stuff like that.
women
They're
are
already calling in on you. Okay, so watch your steps.
No.
trying to save the
I got my
Trying to
steps
help
in their
them.
order. Okay, I got my steps in this order, but that's typical. You can't please her. And
Wait, typical of Keisha or
It's-
typical of?
women.
Okay,
All right,
let's
next
move on.
topic.
Let's move on.
So
Ladies,
Keisha-
I love y'all.
So Keisha
I'm
Kate.
not with y'all.
Yes, boo.
So
Thanks,
Keisha-
I'm
Ryan.
not with them.
So Keisha, Kate Kate walks in with a suitcase, a bag full of. She walks in with a picture. She puts the picture in the center of the mantelpiece, and she warned her. What's your thoughts on Kate dropping it?
They got an Oedipus. I feel like there's some type of Oedipus complex with them,
With
I guess I feel like Kate, not that she looks at Tommy in a sexual way, but she looks at him as he takes care of her. And a woman in between that will not allow for her to be taken care of. And I feel like that's why she's always getting in the mix. Not that she's necessarily wrong with the observation she makes, but the reason why she maneuvers that is really for her own good. Again, not because I think she's sexualizing her son, just because I think she wants to be the center of his world so he can always provide for her.
I get what you're saying, and I do know some very overbearing mothers who a woman is never good for their son, and that's my interpretation of Kate. Yeah.
For the sake of time, because we have a lot to talk about still in a small amount of time, I think just the most important reason that Kate showed up was really to talk about the fact that Tommy killed Holly, which plays out as we saw in the rest of the episode. So.
So what was your take on Keisha's response to
she held it down.
Her knowing the information.
She held it down. She
'Cause
could have done the regular Keisha thing and start to cry and blah, 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 but she held it down.
I don't think so.
I don't think so
I don't either.
No.
Yeah.
Because, let me tell you why. One, she thought Holly was scum. She sold Tasha's earrings. She didn't, just Holly was a bad character. So I think she's, street enough that someone a bad character can be disposed of. I don't think that she was thinking of it in those terms. And because he gave her what she wanted, she was trying to stand up, and she didn't. Keisha's a kind of jealous person. She's not gonna let Kate take her out, even though I feel like she felt that a little bit. Obviously,
right.
she's not gonna show that to his mom.
I think it was more that than anything. I think it was more of a I have to save face. You know what I'm saying? Of course I knew, or so what? She didn't say of course I knew, but it was more of I'm not gonna let you run me out of here or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again, it's the question is, what would you do for love? And for Keisha, she was willing to do anything possible in order to have this relationship with Tommy. So if Kate says something, of course she's gonna deflect it. What were you guys' thoughts on when Tommy confronted her about Cash saying that we got pulled over?
Okay, so really quickly, I think that the important part for me, the takeaway from Lakeisha and Kate when she grabbed that information about Tommy killing Holly. She just had that on her brain. Remember, her getting stopped with cash in a car was kind of like immediately right after. So she's not having really a lot of time to process what she's about to do. I don't think she necessarily was just like, all right, well, it don't matter that he killed someone, his ex-girlfriend. This is my man now. I think she just didn't have time to really do anything with that information. She picked up her son, and then I think maybe that information plus the with what Blanca said as far as he's leaving you with the mortgage. She definitely played her, but I think all of that made her make such a rash decision that was the outcome, her signing the papers.
But do you think that she should have told Tommy? Because the reason that Tommy was so livid was because Tommy felt like she was keeping it a secret.
She was keeping it a secret because she didn't. I feel like she was 50-50. She might have gone in and got in the witness protection program, or she might have tried to run. But really, where was she really going to run? You're going to go in Tommy's car, like the bags are all packed up, stacked there. Her plan didn't make sense. I personally think that she was going to fold. She may have thought she wasn't in the moment, but ultimately, I think she was going to look around and be like, that's the only choice I have to keep my son and justify it as such.
Because remember, when Tommy confronted her, she was still under the impression that he was going to leave her with. So she didn't want to tell him that. It wasn't like, yeah, exactly.
But I will say that one thing that when Tommy said, why weren't you going to tell me about it? She says, because I know you killed Holly and I didn't want to give you a reason not to trust me. I felt that was a genuine, strong moment for her, which then changed Tommy's mind, saying, hey, I'm a changed person. I'm not the same guy. And so do you think that Tommy really loved her, going to the extent of getting the... No?
I mean, they're making it look like that.
I know they're saying that. I think that when she said that in that moment, everything that Tommy has wanted, someone to care for him, it kind of crystallized in that thing. And the ring was, I'm feeling really good right now because she supports me. She's holding me down, 10 toes down. That's what I've always wanted. Yeah. And then part 2 to that is, my wife can't testify against me.
I agree.
So I'm not saying that it was that he didn't love her, but I don't think he loved her as much as we're kind of trying to make it this great love story. I think that there were certain things that she provided, and then he got assurance that he had it because, we're looking around. Again, his dad is gone, Ghost is gone, Tasha.
But what do you think about his comment about the title? And he said he specifically put her name on it because it's gonna be hers.
Because he has to look out for her. But Lakeisha, I don't believe Keisha was in love with Tommy as well. She was in love with the idea of wanting something that she never had.
I agree.
I agree on that.
So there was, it wasn't. They weren't in love.
A relationship of convenience.
Yeah, I do believe that Tommy. He's always talked about family, and I think loyalty means a lot to him, which is why he comes back for Tariq. He goes with Ghost. He keeps his mom around, or you know what I mean. I know they have their moments, but it's those reasons, like loyalty and family, mean a lot to him. And once he found out that Lakeisha didn't fold, he thought, then that solidified family for him, not necessarily being in love.
Yeah. So Ghost tells Tasha that she needs to talk to Keisha because they know that Tariq took Kanan's ashes and that they could reopen the Raymond Jones case. Blanca then, Tasha hangs up the phone. Blanca knocks on the door, says that 50% match of Tariq's blood, and so now she has to go and confront Tasha. Let's go.
You mean she has to go in front of Keisha?
I'm sorry, Keisha, yes, sorry. I'm going so fast because I know the time. Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you remember a few times now, I've called that as well, that I felt like it was Tasha who had to take out Lakeisha.
Yeah.
I knew she was going to, and we said that she had to get some dirt on her. Yeah. She finally needed to catch a body. So it just so happened to be that I think Tasha was the perfect one to do it. Now, I do have to say, in that moment, let's break that scene down because... the reason, because we just talked about it, I think, or something. Lakeisha went for the gun.
Yes.
But I think the only reason she went for the gun was not necessarily to do something to take out Tasha. Yeah. I think she was just so scared because Tasha said, we gonna wait till Tommy gets back. Lakeisha knows what happened with Holly. Yes.
And not only that, but you see her luggage standing by the steps. She had her bag. She was ready to leave.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I
she's
agree.
ready. Yeah, she's
Ready to
so
run.
ready.
So
She's ready to go,
she
but
was scared
she made that
shitless.
mistake. It was
And
just
the paper was on yeah.
And it shows how much of a G that Lakeisha is not, because she looked at the bag first. Like, that's the number one, like,
Projecting,
101.
right.
Street
Yeah,
101
if
is
you-
don't let anybody know, like, your moves or whatever. And she totally caught that. But
Gonna go.
what I will say is that Tasha, she wound up pulling the gully move at the second shot. But she didn't do that I thought Tasha was gonna pull a straight up by Lakeisha bop. But it was the first one was the accident. You get what I'm saying? I didn't think it was gonna go down like that.
What? So when they were like
Tussling,
for the gun,
Yeah.
and you said that
And
was
then
an
it went
accident.
off accidentally.
Well, I don't think it went off accidentally, because you have to remember earlier in the episode when she had the conversation with Tariq when they were doing the money, she said Ghost taught her how to.
No, she was talking about how to cook the dope. To cut the
I
dope.
understand that, but I think the point of that is Ghost has taught her everything. She knows. I feel
That
like
doesn't pertain to this though.
But hold on. But all I'm trying to say is the fact that when she had to rustle, she stepped on her toe. She grabbed her wrist like Tasha.
That's fighting.
It's fighting, but Tasha, this is not her first time at the rodeo. Tasha, in my opinion, in the past, she's had to do shit like this. So
wait, Bam. Are you saying that
she killed her? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But are you saying that the initial shot that went off, that was an intentional
Yes.
shot?
No.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't believe
No.
that was. I believe that Tasha was just trying to get the gun.
survival at that
Yeah.
point.
I don't
it's
even.
either
I
me
think
or
she
you.
was trying to get the gun back to put it on her to like sit down. I don't think
Yeah,
either one of them intended to shoot each
Yes.
other. But
And the proof is, did you see Tasha's initial reaction when
she
she shot her?
paused.
She was having this like almost hyperventilating stage, but then she kind of G'd up and she was like, okay.
well, I'm gonna tell you what I feel like made her G up. When Lakeisha was like, "What about Cash?" I think
I think
Tasha's
she
mom
thought,
was like,
"What
"What
about
about
Tariq?"
Tariq?"
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that's why that's what made her pull the trigger. I think that she was debating and she felt bad because at one point that was her friend, but
Yeah.
then like you,
I
I
got
think
my
that
life, too.
when it came down to it, she was like, "No, what about your son? No, what about my son?" And
Right.
it brought her back to, "I got to do this."
Yeah.
power. I mean, the show is about power struggle, and Tasha and Ghost are both selfish. Everything's about their family, so it made sense. But okay, so continuing. So Tommy is with Cash at the jewelry store getting the ring, and so when he comes back, he tells Cash,
Sit in the car.
So I know Robin, I know that touched you. So what's your take on Tommy's reaction to having to now witness his second girlfriend, love, or whatever you want to call it?
I mean, but so
It's
was
different though.
Was that a moment though, like the fact that he did cry over Lakeisha? Because I mean, the idea, first of all, the shot was just, I mean, the whole scene was shot so beautifully. When Cash, he's got the upside down roses walking to the car, and Tommy looks at him again. I mean, that whole scene was just beautifully done. But you guys don't think that he was in love by the emotion that he had? What do you think the crying was about then?
I mean, I think that it's like you can develop, like you can love someone and not be in love with him. And I think that Lakeisha, there were certain things about the situation and arrangement that were comforting, and he was falling into it. He was falling into, well, shit, maybe I do want to live in the suburbs and really just be here and be this person. So I think he was mulling a lot of things over, and her death recognized the end of a lot of things for him. Not just
I
the
agree with
family,
that.
but
I do
just
agree with
it's
that.
symbolically,
Meaning that he's by himself. He's
Yeah.
alone.
At that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but if this ain't in love, will we ever see Tommy in love? Like, does that
No.
exist
No.
with his
No.
crazy
Look,
mind?
Keisha's definitely gonna be the closest.
Yeah. So now, before we move forward, what's next? What do you think about how this is going to play out?
Well, I think Tommy's gonna blame the murder of Lakeisha, of course, on
Ghost.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
let's talk about that scene really
Because-
quickly when Tasha she walks out of there with no earring on.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a big, I think, if anybody caught that. I know
Yeah.
we caught the fact that she had both earrings on when
Yeah.
she first got
then
there.
the left one was-
in
yeah.
the tussle of them, the earring got left somewhere, and it's a big old hoop. So
Yeah.
do you think that Tommy is going to put that together, that that's actually Tasha's
I do.
earring?
I do, and some people question why Tasha brought the paper, because if she left the paper there, Tommy would have saw that she was going to rat. But I feel like now with the earring, Tommy's gonna find out about it, and then Tasha's gonna have to show this paper like, look at Tommy, I had to because this is why I had to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's gonna completely save Tasha, but I definitely think Ghost and Tasha definitely now have to stick together, because there's no telling what Tommy's gonna do now that Keisha's dead.
Yeah, I personally don't know that Tasha will have an opportunity to be like, hey, wait, before you shoot me, Tommy, here's the papers, here's the why I did it. I don't know. Like, Tommy just looks like now all bets are off. Like, he already tried to kill Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who gonna keep
nothing
cash?
is off limits.
The foster system, yeah.
I was like, does Lakeisha have parents? I don't know.
We don't know, and the dad's in jail.
Yeah.
But the way Power sometimes be, we may not even see Cash anymore.
Power's making a lot of orphans, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your take on Derek and James setting up Councilman Tate?
Councilman Tate. I didn't know, Ghost was hanging out with Homeboy now.
Remember last week he brought him on the QP.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he gave Tate an opportunity to say we were on the same page, when they first started talking. But then Tate started doing this Tate thing, so Ghost was like, okay. And then Derek went off, and they gave the look, and
Tate decides to cancel the Queen's Project when Ghost didn't show up to them. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Scratch that. Tommy and Ghost trying to kill Cooper Sacks. I'm sorry. We got to talk about that. I'm all over the place today. Sorry, you guys.
Well, I knew that they couldn't kill Sacks right now. So yeah, I was like, I was doing this like as I was watching the episode, like doing one of those. But I also knew that the move was coming, that Ghost was gonna save him. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised that he's alive.
But also, again, Ghost always makes the better decisions. They didn't need to kill Cooper Sacks because if Cooper Sacks go and tells what happens, guess what happens? Now they all think he's crazy. He has no allies. He has no girlfriend. He has no homeboy.
That's what he did.
He has nobody. So now they can use the leverage. So it's
and now we know what was in Cooper Sacks' file.
Do you think just porn? Or
lesbian porn, and
he's a pervert.
Yeah.
They caught him with his pants down.
Yeah, so I think it was a smart decision for them to do that. Then they also mentioned that there was a warehouse that they found in order to take out Jason at some point, which may or may not happen now that Keisha's dead. All right.
I mean, well, the thing is, though, you have to remember, too, Tommy is in a precarious position because technically he can't kill Ghost, because if he kills Ghost, Jason will kill him. So we still have that aspect of the storyline looming over. And can I just, for 1 second, nobody mentioned BG.
Black Grimace?
Yeah, nobody mentioned that he's gone.
He's been gone.
Did we?
That was just last
show?
week. I'm talking about this week.
This episode.
It wasn't addressed. Like, do we know? Does Tommy know yet? Does Tommy know he's really, really, really alone? That just kind of was skipped over. And that's kind of relevant as Dre is running around, so they don't know Dre is loose. That kind of bothered me.
But we also right. I feel what you're saying
as well, and
that's what I'm saying, because we didn't even see that.
I mean, I know, but just Dre being out in the world and not worried. Like, I just blew Tommy's boy. Like, thing.
That does. And now that he has the ankle bracelet off, it should be pretty soon that he should go as well, because he's given up the information, and the only reason that they're going to find out. You've been
trying to kill Dre off since episode 3.
I am.
I feel like he might make it to the end.
I do, but Ghost and Tasha are going to find out that Dre gave up the information, because Tariq is gonna be able to tell the only reason that they found out the information was because he got the address from Dre.
Yeah, maybe not, but I don't know. I just know that they because they know that the alibi in Lakeisha that came up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they're working with that information rather than it came from Dre.
Right.
So I'm just not sure about that.
Really quickly before we go into another topic, going back to Tate and Councilman. So James is potentially on another ticket to run
Yeah,
for
so
lieutenant.
we found out that Ramona is now
Has been really pushing him.
so she's sort of playing sides. So now the two of them
y'all.
are kind of like going to flip on tape.
Yeah.
Which too, I think somebody called that out before that. He'll go on the legal side.
But
Power Book 2, politics.
Is she is a little oblivious. She's so enthralled with Ghost that it's almost like she is not vetting him. It's like she doesn't really care. She's like, the people like him, and
like politics.
Yeah.
I feel like she has an agenda.
Yeah.
You know, she has a reason why she wants, besides her, the sexual attraction she obviously has.
And he's
There's a
clearly
reason
not
why-
interested.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, oh, okay, this works out. I feel like she has an agenda for whatever reason, and I also don't think that she is naive as we are believing her to be.
Yeah.
I feel like she is a little more aware than perhaps she's letting on, but we won't know that until Power Book 2. Anyway, that's just my thought. I feel like they're going to make it to that.
Okay, so Tariq and his teacher, Mr. Radner, what's your thoughts on that? So just really quick.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Dumb.
I didn't see it coming.
Dumb
but-
on whose part?
Dumb on to really think, like, I get it, you need some more places for distribution, but you don't, I mean, obviously the dude is an addict, so he may be selling, but you don't want to deal with somebody who's using and trying to sell your product. We know there's not really this plausible deniability that they had, because obviously he knows it's Tariq, but how long is he going to cooperate? What makes you really think that he's going to cooperate? Are his clients the students, or is it outside? I just feel like there's too many variables for it to really, really work, but I see what they're doing, and I get it.
Well, I thought that it was very Ghost-like for Tariq to put the drugs inside the trunk, and I felt like it could be a very smart, play. You know what I'm saying? For what they're doing. Obviously, we all know that we're not, condoning Tasha and Tariq and that whole thing and the drug selling, but she made a very interesting statement. She said, "I already lost my son. I'm trying to get him back."
Right.
So if that's her, bam.
I personally, I didn't like the whole approach of the teacher. I thought it was very strong.
Yeah.
Racist?
Yeah, especially that.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was just like
Racist?
It just seemed like it was forced.
Yeah, because
I knew that.
the new
You
black
hold it, the new black guy. You hold it and da-da-da-da.
Right.
But I got crackish vibes. That's immediately when
Hell
he first started
yeah.
doing that, I was like, oh, he's an addict. So he's really looking to cop, not, whatever.
And then they leave all the dope in his trunk. I just didn't like the
I think
setup
it's
of
a
the scenes.
stupid move on Tariq's part, because, again, as I said before, what happened to Kizzy?
Effie.
I'm talking about Roots.
Oh.
You can't trust white people.
You always refer to Roots.
Here you go with Missy Ann.
You can't. He just looks trouble. He can ruin Tariq.
Yeah, but no. Okay, so here's the thing. So again, I don't need to restate the fact that I
This
don't
is a
condone this,
typical
but I'm gonna
Tariq
break this
move,
down.
actually.
I'm gonna just break this down because we know that Tariq is going to school just because that's a part of the agreement. It's not like he's trying to go and get a master's degree. He's trying to go street. So he's just playing the two of them. So if he gets kicked out of this school, let's just say hypothetically, it's not necessarily a big deal. He's just playing the part. Now, according to what we know, it's smart because he's clean. Remember, the teacher checked him. He was like, "It looks like you're going on the straight and narrow, or whatever." So he's clean right now. He has no smut on his rep, right? Well, no, he got smut on his rep, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, yeah. Shout out to Nipsey.
Wait, can I just, one part that was like my favorite part?
What?
Well, not my favorite, but one of them. When Tariq told Ramona, don't they do background checks for people to run?
Yeah.
He was straight
I wanted
dry
to fall
snitching
out.
on his
I was
uncles.
like, go ahead. That was
So-
funny to me. Sorry, go ahead. Tariq and the teacher,
and the teacher.
Yeah.
Mr. Ryder. Yeah.
So let's go into theories and predictions.
I was going somewhere, but I forgot.
I'm sorry. I cut Robin. I'm sorry.
Spaced out.
It's all good. I'll remember next weekend
Who
or
has
next
predictions?
All right. Who wants to go?
Looks like we're gonna see James St. Patrick on the not the presidential but the political runway now. That's it. So that's about it.
For me, so like as I was saying earlier, with Keisha gone, I feel like now Ghost and Tasha, they have to get back together because they have to protect Tariq from killing Raymond Jones. Then we don't know what's going to happen when they find out that Tasha actually killed Lakeisha. So I feel like they have to stick together. Then he's about to run for this political office, in which I said, although I think ultimately Ghost has to die, I think it would be cool if he wins office, he and Tasha get back together, and then they struggle it out, trying to not run New York, well, sort of, kind of, but as they run the political game, they're looking down like, oh shit, look at trying to worry about Tariq.
I feel like something deep has to happen with Saxe now, because they made us believe that he was going to be taken out this episode, but maybe it was like, he's not. But it might come later on, because remember, Blanca now is playing both sides, and what she asked of Dre was, what he asked of her was, I need payback on Saxe. So like he's really kind of stuck in a hard place right now, Saxe. I believe the only thing that's saving me from saying that Ghost is going to be killed is the political aspect, like him going into politics. But I feel like Tommy could kill Ghost, thinking that because all bets are off. I think that he believes he's the head, so you got to cut off the head, right? Yeah. And so I feel like Tommy could kill Ghost, but then Tommy would go to jail. Maybe Tommy doesn't get killed, but he goes to jail.
I think Tommy's going to go to jail. But, okay, real quick question, and we'll wrap it up. Do you guys think one of the major three are going to die by the mid-season finale?
Yeah. By the mid-season finale?
Yeah.
I feel like the finale. Or maybe, somebody's got to die before the
finale for sure. Maybe not the
the
mid.
finale, but
Yeah,
so in 2 weeks, so you don't think that there'll be one of the characters' major deaths before we take that?
I don't think so, only because Tommy, there's the whole setup of him going to LA, so he's alive. So then if you kill Ghost, because the black woman is not dying. She's not. You can't kill the only black woman. So Tasha's not going to die.
Okay.
So there's Ghost. So if Ghost dies in episode 10, I'm not sure how that's going to pan out for the last 5 episodes, and if we will continue to watch.
Hey, so shout out to Dark Rebel. We got a tip, y'all. He gave us $1.99. He said, always love y'all reviews. So we thank you, Dark Rebel.
We appreciate that.
And Reed Dollar says Blanca is going to kill. She's going to get Saxe killed. Do we agree with that?
I don't know if Saxe even needs to die, because he's if he dies, he probably has to kill himself. I mean, he has nobody.
After this episode, I do think Tasha will die, and I don't feel bad one bit, says Shanice. Rob B says Ghost ain't dying. I don't know. You guys jump in and tell me if you agree or not, but we got to wrap up this episode. So
remember, guys, we'll be back in 2 weeks.
That's right.
And we break next week.
And we want to thank our fans for calling in. We had Paul Michael, the first call. We had Nikki and Ian, the second call from Canada. Paul Michael's from LA. Kwame was from Iowa.
Yeah.
And then Eric was from Jersey. So thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun talking to the fans.
Yes, very
fun. And I didn't get a chance to clap back, but I'll be petty another time. So let everyone know where you guys could be found on social media.
Yes, your man Jimmy V at the Jimmy V, and keep continuing the conversation on Power After Plug. We see y'all.
Thanks for always mentioning that, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And you guys can find me at Robin Ayers on all of my social media platforms.
Happy birthday again to Robin.
Thank you.
And you can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill. Hit me up. Let's holler.
Yes, and I also want to co-sign Happy Birthday. Happy birthday. I was ready to sing, but my vocals.
Oh, man, I missed it.
Happy birthday.
Okay. No. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.